Loofah, 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 loofah. Hey everybody, welcome back to Whistle Thicket. Behind me and around me you see these beautiful loofah plants. This is actually my third year trying to grow loofahs. My first year I got one or two. Last year I didn't get any, and I tried to think about what was different. So what I figured out, loofah, first you got to plant them early. You got to start them indoors. They have a long growing season. I started these from seed probably in early March, and it's October. So that was a big thing I had to figure out. Second, they really like sun. Last time I had them kind of in partial shade, and they didn't really like that. Even now, I mean, I planted a few and I got maybe a dozen loofah. So I'm excited. I haven't harvested loofah in quite a while. So we're gonna first check out these beautiful gourds. Some people think a sponge comes from a sponge in the ocean, but not really. Organic sponges come from this plant, a loofah plant. So I'm going to show you which one to harvest, and then we're gonna harvest one, and we get to collect seeds for next year. What can be better than that?
It's time for a loofah montage.
That's a beautiful loofah. Loofah? Little loofah? Hello, loofah. Oh, hello, loofah. Loofah, loofah, another loofah. Ooh, loofah. More loofahs. So loofahs, I think, are one of those plants that sometimes can be intimidating people. You got to plant them early, and they have a long growing season, and then a decent amount of time to dry out. It's October, and really only one of my dozen or so loofah is dried out enough for me to harvest. I may have a second one to show you, but there's only really one. It's been so hot here that my loofah plant is actually still flowering. So I'm going to try to show you. Oh, here's an easy one to show you. I'm going to show you the loofah flower, which is kind of pretty. Loofah flower. And here's another loofah flower, if you can see it. Hopefully that shows you. So, like I said, loofah can be intimidating. And then once you finally grow them, you got to know when to harvest them. This is a trick. As much as you can, you want them to dry on the vine. I just got to show you Stella the pig. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted. But look at this adorable pig of ours. I just fed her some tomatoes. She's a big old mini pig. Back to loofah. You got to know when to harvest these. The key is you want to let them dry on the vine as much as you can. Now, if there's going to be a frost or something, you could cut them off and dry them inside as best you can. But I'm trying to let mine dry on the vine. So these are actually pretty heavy right now. This is kind of heavy. This is dense. This one up here is super heavy for a loofah. What you really want to look for is, first it's going to be light. This is a light loofah. And then the skin gets kind of crinkly, kind of feels like the leather of a football. And as you can see, the skin has started to kind of fade and is starting to blacken. Once you see that, you can harvest a loofah. We harvested the loofah. So this one, I mean, this thing is light, super light, right? That's your key, because it has dried out hopefully sufficiently enough for us to harvest. So let's go ahead. We're gonna go in, well, to our porch at least, and I'm gonna open up this loofah and show you what it looks like inside. We're back on the porch with our one loofah that we can harvest right now, and I got about a dozen. I showed you most of them. Those probably, hopefully, they can sit another 2 weeks and start to dry out. Sometimes we get snow in October, but it's been a crazy month and a half here in western North Carolina. We're kind of in a drought. If I'm going to have a frost, I would probably take those off. But this thing is really light. It's kind of like a football. Hello. So this is what you do. You take out your knife and you lightly slice into your loofah. So let's go ahead and do that. Cue the dramatic music. And be careful when you cut. And really you're just scoring it. You're not cutting into it because then you're going to slice into your sponge. And you don't want to do that. Okay, time for the big reveal. Are you ready for this? I don't think you're ready. Okay, let's open this baby up. Whoa! Awesome! And this is what is inside the loofah sponge. Isn't it kind of crazy? And now if you shake it, sometimes the seeds fall right out. My seeds aren't falling out. That's okay. This is dry, but it's still a little wet. On the inside, here is your loofah on the inside. You can see the black seeds. When these are black, you know that they're mature seeds. But this is actually still a little wet, which is okay. I'm going to dry this inside my house, and then I'm going to rinse it off. I'm going to clean it, and then let it dry again. And then I will have sponges. I can use these in the shower. We can use them for dishes. We can make soaps out of them, and they can hold the soap. So pretty cool plant to grow. If you haven't grown loofahs, I definitely encourage you to do it. I've had struggles with them, but this year has been a good year for me. I mean, I don't need tons of loofahs. 12 is going to be more than enough. I'll probably be able to give some to friends and family. So until next time, keep it real and keep it loofah.